digital scrapbooking. Digiscrap map, finding your way in digital scrapbooking.
Hey all, here we are at Digiscrap Map, and I do this wrong. Oh, I got it right. Behind the logo here, I have our special guest. Her name is Karen from Snickerdoodle Designs, and when she types, we can hear her really loud. But I'm going to take this off, and everybody meet Karen.
Hi.
Karen, let's go ahead and just get started with some simple questions. Tell us about yourself. Where do you live?
Southern California, Orange County.
And you said it was how warm?
United States.
You said it was how warm there today?
It's about 80 degrees here today.
In the middle of
November the 15th.
November the 15th. Today is actually at this very time, at this very moment, is kind of a special moment for me. You picked a great time for a chat because my middle child is in his very last minutes of his teenage years. His birthday's today, and by the time this chat ends, he will no longer be a teenager. Oh.
Good for you.
Well, I have one younger than him, but it's just one of those sentimental, sappy mom moments. So y'all are here to help me through this moment, so I don't sit alone and be all sentimental, sappy, and sad. So
we only did that when they went to kindergarten.
I do that with all the Marks. In fact, I think when he turned 16, I drug out a photo of him when he was a baby and scrapped it. And it's got a title on it that says real big, "My baby is 16 today," and then it's got a picture of him as a baby. So tell us about your family.
Well, when you were talking about your son, it reminds me that when my son was born, every year his name is Brian, we used to tell him, or we still do, he's just turned 30, and we still tell the Brian story every year. So we sit down with him at dinner or lunch, whatever, and go through his whole birth story of, when we got pregnant, when we found out, when we went to the hospital, when he was born. And when he was, until he was about 13 years old, I would always grab him and make him sit on the couch by me and put my arms like this. You can't see me.
I can see.
And say, "You were this big, and now look at how big you are." And he's 30, and we still do that. So I didn't scrap it, but I played a game. We have our son, and we also have a daughter that's 30. Oh gosh, I have to do the math. I think she's 35.
Wow.
I know. And our daughter has two children, Emily and Tyler, and they are 5 and 7, and just as sweet as can be. They live about 2 miles from us, so we get to see them a lot. In fact, I feel really bad because Jennifer wanted me to babysit tonight, and I said, "Oh, I just can't. I can't be distracted." So she had to find somebody else tonight. Oh, thanks, Moz. They are cute.
So you have 2 grandchildren. That's exciting. And that's great that they live so close, though, and that you can spend time with them. So, do you ever use them as inspiration for your kits?
I haven't yet. I have thought about, yes, babysitting. Dawn, yes. Dawn and I were both babysitting last weekend. We had Tyler and Emily for almost 4 days, and Dawn had some little ones too, so we were going back and forth with how difficult it was when that isn't your normal day. And I love them to death, and mine were older than the one she was watching, but it was still a challenge. And I'm sorry, I forgot your question.
Do you ever use them as inspiration for your designing?
Oh, I've gotten a lot of ideas from Emily. She is the 7-year-old, and she is a little princess, diva, but I haven't put anything into committed anything yet, but she'll probably be there sometime.
How long have you been designing?
I actually started designing custom fonts and word art in July of 2009, and I found that was really limiting to me, and I wanted to do other things, and so I started doing other things and expanding in January of this year. So not that long. So I still have a lot to learn.
I've said this. Well, you were talking about princesses, and this is a tradition at Digiscrap map. They always want to see me wear the tiara, so I thought it was appropriate
very cute.
appropriate to bring it out now and get it over with. And if we had Dawn on voice, we had some techie problems, but if we had Dawn on voice, she'd be singing "I Feel Pretty." Oh, so pretty.
She's typing it.
Yeah, she is. Oh, you guys are a hoot. Okay, what were we talking about before I distracted us with a tiara?
I finished talking about Emily. I'm also married. My husband saw on, I actually had a magazine interview that came out today, and it said that I been married 38 years. And I'm known to have to do the math and find out how old I really am. And he said, "Did you tell them we've been married 38 years? He's the one that always remembers. We've actually been married 39 and 40 in June. So he had to make sure I got that straight.
That's such a blessing, so long. So are you going to do anything special for your 40th?
We haven't actually talked about it. We had 2 big trips this year, so I'm not really sure. We'll have to think about that. We were supposed to...
Go on.
This delay is killing me.
I know.
We were supposed to go to Germany in April, and if you remember, the Iceland volcanic ash was all over the sky. We were actually at the airport checking in when they canceled our flight.
Oh,
so
wow.
we did not get to Germany. That was really sad. We'd planned that for a whole year.
Wow.
So I was very disappointed. So we came home, we were driving home in the car, and, disappointed, had all our sweaters in our suitcases and everything because it was cold in Germany, and he said, what should we do? I have 2 weeks off. He's retired. And he said, let's see if we can book a cruise. So he came home, he got online, and within an hour we were booked on a cruise to the Caribbean, took the sweaters out of the suitcase, threw shorts in, and we were ready to go. And that is the inspiration for my smooth sailing kit, actually.
Oh, very cool. That's very cool. We were talking about how long you had been designing, and then I asked something after that when my silly tiara distracted us. Let's go ahead and talk about, you said you were interviewed for a magazine. Tell us about that magazine. I think it's a fairly new one out there.
It is. Papers and Pixels. It's an e-zine, right? That's how you say it? Yeah, I wanted to say e-zine, and that's wrong. Yes, this is the 3rd month out. It's a fabulous magazine. It's a cross for hybrid scrappers and for digi-scrappers. It's, I wish I had I think it's just go to papersandpixels.com, and you can sign up to get the newsletter, to get the free magazine. And I was their featured designer of the month. So it just came out today, and it was actually a really nice article. I was really happy with it. They showed a picture of the very, very first craft I ever did in my life.
Oh, I'll have to go see. I'll have to go see.
Funny.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the images you've provided for me. I had to let me tuck them away here. That means we're gonna cover up Karen and replace her with some images for right now.
That's okay.
We're going to have to show off your room there, though, before we end. These are not in the best of particular order, I don't think. but they are grouped together. Tell us about this paper.
One thing I really like to do is make paper out of photographs that I take, and this actually was the base of this paper was actually a photograph I took of Vernon Falls up at Yosemite in Northern California, and it's one of my favorite papers. That's the photograph that is actually based on.
That's
it's just fun.
Amazing photograph, though. It almost looks like you've run a filter or something on it. It's just really, it's really, really cool. I know it's not going to show up in the recording like I'm getting to see right over there on my screen. Right over there.
Yeah.
I wish you all could see that.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
And so how did you turn that photo into this paper?
You know, when I sent that to you, I was afraid you were going to ask me that because I don't really honestly know that I could tell you. When I make paper, I'll start with my base. I might add a color. I might change the blending modes. I'll put some texture to it. I could be on a piece of paper for an hour. I've actually spent 2 hours on one piece of paper. And I don't know. I don't bother taking the snapshots through CS like you can do. So if I had to recreate that paper, I probably couldn't.
Right.
Which probably isn't a good answer, but that's my answer.
But I see there's like are these brush strokes? Did you make brushes? Or did you make brushes with the photo, or did you use other brushes?
I actually took that photo and I resized it to 360 by 3600 by 3600. So if it was, if all the other things weren't on top of it, it wouldn't be a clear photo. But you got the variations in color. You can see right in the middle the little brown, and that is part of the rocks that were there. And then if you really, I can see it because I know the photo. But down at the bottom there, where it's a little bit lighter, that's where the waterfall was. And I did do some brushes on it. I do know I did that. There you go, down there.
I'm trying to make it bigger.
I put some little creases on it, and that's about all I can tell you, really.
I don't know. I think it's cool. People who are thinking about designing, I mean, that's a really cool page, are really interested in hearing how you do that sort of thing. And then these are just adorable. So tell us about the little snow guys.
Oh, that was really fun. I used to do tool painting, and I was looking through some of my tool painting books for some inspiration because I knew I wanted to do a Christmas kit, and I knew I wanted to do it along the lines of how I used to tool paint. And I found these snowmen on the cover of a magazine. I didn't send you that, did I?
Mm-mm.
I was going to scan that and send it to you, and I forgot.
Before we get too far, tell me what tool paint is.
Tool painting is like if you would see these little characters and they were made out of wood. If you go to the gift shops, 15 years ago, you used to find a lot of wood painted things.
Right.
For the home. That's tool painting. That's considered tool painting. It's an artistic form of painting. And a lot of it is, kind of fancy, but my painting style was more the country-ish, cutesy like this. So I could have very easily painted those by hand.
So how did you make this? So did you hand draw this?
Yes. Well, I used shapes.
Right.
But I saw a snowman on the cover of a magazine or a book that I had that was 15 years old, and I wanted to base the snow people off of those snowmen. So I emailed the publishing company, and they had no record of the designer anymore. And then the publishing company emailed me just 10 minutes later and said I found her on Facebook, and I gave her your email address. So we were going back and forth about her terms of use and whether I could base my snow people off that. And while we were negotiating that, I kept on working on these. And by the time we were all finished, they were so different. She said, "Oh, don't even worry about it." So So it's kind of a fun story for me.
Yeah,
I use shapes on these.
But I see some sticks. If we zoom in, I'm going to zoom in and move over here so people can see. I just want to know how you make these things. So I see some sticks.
And the sticks actually were a CU item. I did not make the sticks.
Yeah, but you were creative enough to stick them just right so they were like arms. And then you have a heart that's stitched.
Yes.
And how did you fray the... I mean, there's so much detail here. The scarf is frayed around it?
The scarf was... I believe I used the fray action that Atomic Cupcake has.
Oh, very cute.
Karen Stimson also has a fray, and honestly, without looking it up, I'm not sure which one I used.
Right. There's another oh, see the detail all the way down to there's something in the snowman's pocket. I mean, these are just adorable. And then his hat. Oh,
I did have a lot of fun playing with puppet warp with these little guys, making the hats and the scarves and his jacket down at the bottom. It's kind of wavy. Love puppet warp. It is so much fun.
What is puppet warp? That's something new to me.
Puppet warp is new in CS5, and what it does is allow you to place pinpoints. Like at the bottom of his jacket, that was totally straight. So I would take a pinpoint and put it maybe an inch or two above, and on the side of his jacket, above that line, the dividing line between the bottom of his jacket and his body. And that pins those pixels in place. And then I would take, right there where your cursor is.
Right here, okay.
I'll go up a little bit, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Down, where you go, right there. So now I would put another pinpoint right there, and then just pull that down a tad, and that would give that look of a little drape to his jacket.
Yes, very cool. It's sort of like using, well, there's a warp tool in CS4.
Yes.
Right? So it's sort of similar to that, only it's a puppet warp, so it works just a little bit differently.
It works differently in that you can actually pin it. Go back up.
Okay.
Make it smaller. I could see on his right arm. I could put a pin. Oh gosh, I keep on touching the screen like you can see me. Go. Make it smaller. Make it smaller.
Make it.
And then move. Let me see his arm. More of his arm. Bring his arm down, or his body down, and then over. Okay, see where the little knob goes on the front, on the top of his arm, right there by your cursor?
Right here?
I don't see your cursor. Right there. Okay, if I could put a pin right there, and a pin maybe about a quarter of an inch down past the little nub on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Go down his arm. There you go. And then another one on his arm. Put a little pin on his arm. There you go. I put one right there. And now I could go down and grab the bottom of his hand and put a pin there and pull his hand up, and the top part of his arm would be totally exactly how you see it, but there would be a bend to almost like an elbow, almost like a joint.
Oh.
In fact, I made a snowman boy. I'm making a little small add-on for this, a little boy and a little girl to complete the family. And I have the little boy with his hands in his pockets by using puppet warp.
Oh, well, I'm just going to have to come by that then. We just need to get some snow here in Missouri. How about the snow there in California?
Any snow we have is about an hour and a half away from me, hour and 15 minutes.
You don't have much excuse to scrap with these, but I know a lot of...
Not at all.
Let's move on. Tell us about this. This is a layout, and it has the snow people on it.
Yes. I had a name for it. Let's see, I'm going to have to bring up my list to see who did that for me. But I have the most amazing creative team.
Nancy, yeah.
Nancy did it. Nancy, are you here? Yay, Nancy. Yes, Nancy did that. And she just has such a gift for making me look good. I just adore her, and she's a lovely, lovely woman as well.
Virginia says she wants the snow people too. They'd look so cute on cards. I think that's her name. She's new to me. Dare to be me is her ID. I think, isn't that Virginia? Isn't that her real name? I think so. Let's look at the next one. Oh, that's the waterfall. Okay. This is all-time favorite something. Tell us about this one. I think these are some layouts your CT made that are some of your favorite layouts that they've made with using your stuff.
Yes. That was a photograph I took in, I just blanked out. It's famous. Up north, Northern California. Oh my gosh, somebody help me out. Discovering America kit, you're right. I'm just like totally blank. Anyways, this famous, is it Yosemite?
Yosemite, yes.
Okay, yes.
Don't
Yosemite.
You know.
Yes. It's not Half Dome. What is it? It's the other famous one.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for somebody in the chat room to say, okay, like I should know this, but anyway, it's a very, very, very famous dome.
Somebody go Google it. Somebody go Google it. Don't worry, I do the same thing.
Oh my gosh. And, no help from me, sorry. Anyway, it's a place, in Yosemite, there's a bridge, and like at half hour before sunrise, the bridge is crammed with photographers waiting to take a picture of this mountain because the way the sunlight comes over the hills, it hits right on the top of that peak, and it's just stunningly beautiful. I actually was not there in the snow. I was there in August, but I used that as a base for this paper, and then you can see a little bit of a rainbow on it. I used a little bit of a rainbow from another picture I took at Vernon Falls, and then put some texture on it and played around with some brushes on it to give it a little bit of the white look that you have.
The little girl is?
The little girl is the granddaughter of Maria, who did this layout for me.
Oh.
Uh-oh, that's my phone. The paper was part of my Discovering America kit, and this is what she did with it. I love that it's one of my favorites because it's very simple. It shows off the paper. I'm
cracking up. I've never heard such a phone ring.
Yeah. I just hung up on him. I hope it wasn't important.
It's okay.
My husband calling to go, how's it going?
I'm going to start crying. It's a good thing I'm behind the layout here.
I really like this because I think she captured my feeling of this paper, which was freedom. And the little girl looks like she's just having so much fun, and she's so free, and she just did such a beautiful job on it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I like the way she's got it going right off the page. So many people think that they have to keep their stuff, all on the page, and even all of her feet are not shown; they're blended in, kind of like there's grass there. She did a really good job. Let's see.
She took that photo too.
Who is Jody? Jody's layout here.
Jody has an amazing talent for doing interesting things, and I saw this. It was one of my favorites because I just thought it was so different. And she blended her little girl right into that paper, and then put the shadows on the side to make it look like it was popped out. And I just thought that was really special. I really liked that. And then the little girl in the frame on the side, so we could get a clear picture of her as well.
Yeah.
That was my Artist in Me kit.
Very cute. This one is Moz. Belongs to
Moz,
Moz.
Moz is here. Hi, Moz.
Hi, Moz.
Moz is my creative team manager, and she keeps me in line and keeps me on task and does amazing layouts, and she's a great friend. This was my Artist in Me kit, and I really liked the fact that she had a little bit of journaling in there. She used some elements, and she chose the photos that went so well with the papers. I just love it. It's one of my favorites.
Next one is by Bernie.
Bernie is amazing. Bernie, are you here or are you sleeping?
Bernie's sleeping.
She's probably sleeping. I have a little clock here that I can turn to 32 different countries and it'll tell me what time it is there so that I can keep track of these girls. So yeah, she's sleeping. But Bernie has a wonderful style. It's very clean. She takes great pictures, and I really like the fact that her layouts are what I would call classic simple. She doesn't use a lot of elements, and she really lets her photos shine, and she uses mostly quotes or simple phrases, and I really like her look.
She does a lot of the lessons and my classes at Hummy's World, and I really enjoy her layouts too.
She's a sweetheart as well.
Oh, she is.
Sure.
I'd miss her if she was gone.
Yes.
This one is another one by Moz.
It is. This is my chicken soup kit. I like it because of the blocking that she did in it. She used the elements. She showed off the kit really well for me, and those pictures are adorable.
They are.
She has a talent for picking the right pictures for the right kids.
And this one is from Mrs. Peel.
Yes. This is my Merry Month of May kit. I really like the fact that she used the black and white photograph on it. I thought it really made the photo stand out. I thought the elements that she used made it really feminine, and I still thought it was simple and what I would call classic. I liked it. It's one of my favorites as well.
They're talking about stock photos in the chat room. Is this a stock photo?
This particular one is not. This is Mrs. Peel's, I think she said either her niece or her cousin. The one before the little boys that Moz did was a stock photo.
Oh, I see.
But even if it's a stock photo, it was a great photo for that page.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's sometimes a very controversial thing in some forums. I try to stay away from that controversy, whether or not to use stock photos. Because I guess you can always pull that out and then put your own photo in it for your own personal use.
I haven't read anything about that, and for me as the designer, I want the kit to be shown well, and my personal opinion is if they need to use a stock photo to do that, then I'm fine with that.
Here is another one by Moz.
Yes. I saw this on Facebook yesterday, and I said, "You need to send that to me. I need to send it to Hummy." I just love it. It is so cute. Those are her grandchildren, and they're just the sweetest could be. This is my newest kid, Snow and Love, and I just thought it was so precious that she used that word art. That's I think is that the Santa Baby word art, Moss?
Yes, Santa paper.
I think that's the Santa Baby word art, but it's the Snow and Love kit, and she has a really good talent for mixing things for me. But I really liked it because my Snow and Love kit was about snow and about love, and I think there are so many Christmas kits out there. I wanted something to be a little different, and and so that was kind of my focus, the love part of Christmas with family and friends, and I think this layout for me totally captured what I was trying to say with this kit, so it's my favorite.
They asked in the chat room questions about stock photos. To go back in the subject, yes, stock photos are copyright friendly. They're not. You can buy them. A lot of them you can buy for a small fee and then use however you want, free from copyright. There are some stock photos out there that you even on Flickr you'll find some that are totally free, and you can use them however you want. Some would require crediting, some not require crediting. So hopefully that helps answer those questions that are coming up in the chat room. Yes, the terms of use. If you use stock photos, you really need to read the terms of use, and if in doubt, contact the person who owns the photo. Okay, here's another one. Are you there?
I'm here, yes.
Here's another one.
Earlier, I'm sorry?
Yeah, this is by Maria.
Yes. She's the one that did the little girl, same person. She was on my creative team for just a couple of months, and then she found out that she was going back to work, and it was too much for her. But she actually is a fabulous photographer, and she uses a lot of her photographs in her scrapping pages, and I love this because it was such a wonderful photograph to use with this paper, and she did a wonderful job of extracting the deer and putting it forward. This paper was one of the ones that I said I spent hours on. That was actually a weed that I took a photograph of in my front yard.
Oh, wow.
And duplicated it. It was actually just one weed. And spent a lot of time getting the look that I wanted.
Is this barbed wire fence from your kit then?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, she really used that amazingly. You guys need to look at this in full view like I am. I'm sorry you're all looking at it on a small screen, because she's right, this layout here is pretty amazing.
It is.
And then here's another one by Lela.
Lila is how I pronounce it. Moz, is that right? Well, she'll tell me. Lila is on my creative team also, and she is also extremely creative. She actually usually creates the brag books that I market, and that's what she does with my kids for me. She used my puppy love kit along with the outside my window kit to make this, and she also loves dogs, and this is one of her little puppies. I thought it was amazing. I just loved what she did with it. It was so sweet.
Another one, I forget how many of these you gave to us to share. Here's another one by...
I like to brag about all of my girls, so this is another one Moz did. This is with the Scarecrow Wannabe kit.
You just don't want anybody to see you. Whoops, where'd we go?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward. There we go.
Go on, I have to joke.
Where is it? Oh, there we go. This is a stock photo. Okay, since we're talking about stock photos, yes, this is a stock photo. I actually sent her a picture, and I said, or an email, and I said, I need that picture. I need to use it for a base of a paper, and she said, oh no, it's a stock photo, so I didn't use it. But I love the way Moz alternates her papers, and I think that's one of her strong points is clustering, and I think she did an amazing job on this.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, the way she's got the photo tucked in there and everything clustered around it.
Yeah.
Now here's another one from Bernie.
Yeah. Bernie's amazing. What can I say? Again, she used her photograph really effectively in that paper, and then had just a little bit of journaling on it, so our eyes go to the photo, And that's what I think is important. So, well, the journaling is important too, of course, but this is the whole thing that tells the story, and I just really liked it.
And one more from Maz.
Yeah, I love this one too. So pretty. It's so cool and refreshing feeling to me. And I just thought that it highlighted the photograph, the way she used it, the icicles underneath the photograph, the hearts, the red, brought in the red, and I love the way she did her title on it. She's wonderful, is she not?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Okay, we've moved on to another subject that you gave me, something about, your what you believe was your best-selling kit is your Outside My Window kit. And tell me about this photo and how it works with that.
I don't really keep statistics. I think I told Dawn I have a chart all ready to do that, but I haven't really kept track. But I think the Outside My Window kit is the best selling one that I've had. And this was right outside my office window. I actually work 4 days a week, and one day we were on a ground floor, and this hummingbird kept on hanging around the window, and all of a sudden we realized that she was building a nest. And that nest actually is about the size of a large walnut. So we kept on watching it, and one day I went out and drug this big 8-foot wooden rickety ladder from the storage area, got up on it, and shot this photo because I wanted to see if there was actually an egg in it. And the egg is about the size of a jelly bean. And then on your next photo, you have the mom sitting on the nest. We did some research on that, and they will sit on the nest for about 6 weeks. So there are 3 girls in my office, and every day we would go out and look at this nest. If you really look at it, if you can see the little strings around the nest and around the branches, what the hummingbirds do is they get spider webs, and they wrap the spider webs around the nest and around the branch, and that lets the nest expand as the baby gets bigger, but yet it keeps it firmly attached to the branch as well. So we thought that was really interesting, and that hummingbird is about, maybe 2 inches in length. So we watched her every day go out there. I would take pictures of her about every other day. And then one day, and everybody in our office, they would see me cart this big ladder out there, get up on there, and shoot.
Oh my word! I can just visualize.
I offered to help me carry the ladder, though.
Oh no! I can just visualize everybody. You getting out there. I want a picture of you with that ladder now.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. And then one day, we came in and we heard the little bird chirping.
She says in the chat room, U.S. scrappers are crazy.
Oh, we are. I'm sorry, I can't read and talk at the same time, so I'm not ignoring the chat room.
No, it's okay.
Totally distracted.
We'll talk at the chat room here and invite them to ask questions in a minute. But before we move on, this is an amazing photo you took because you've got bokeh in the background.
That's actually it's just plants and sunlight and leaves.
Yeah.
I was just focused on the birds, so the background is really blurred.
Yeah, but I love it.
That's just oh yeah. Oh, thank you.
Next photo is.
That is the baby hummingbird,
and
she's a day old.
I cannot believe you climbed the ladder so many days to get these photos.
I did.
Oh.
I've got to tell a story about this, though, because I feel kind of bad, so this is my confession. The mother was out there feeding the bird, the baby, and when I came out there, she flew away, of course, and that's what I was trying to capture, the mother feeding the baby. And so I climbed up on my ladder, and I shook the branch a little bit so that the baby would open her mouth And as she did, I snapped that photo. So
Oh,
I
wow.
felt kind of bad about that. Faking her out, thought she was going to get fed again.
Oh, that's amazing. And then, so all of this was the inspiration for this kit here.
Yes. And if you look at the papers in the kit, and I probably should have sent you a paper preview.
You did, I think. Is this it?
Yes. Okay, get that bigger. Okay, see at the very top left,
Yes.
that is the mom sitting on the mom is sitting on the branch, on the nest. You can't really see it unless you drag it down. Can you drag it down?
Yeah, I'm trying to, and it won't let me. Let me zoom in more and then drag. Here we go. Now it's letting me. Right there.
Yes, there's the mother, and then on the one on the far right, I think it's the baby.
Yeah, I see a nest up here.
Yes, that's the nest, or just nobody was in it at the time. I think that was after it was abandoned, after the baby left. And then some of those other papers are when I was out there taking pictures of the bird, I took pictures of plants and things out there in the backyard as well.
And here's the paper we saw in a couple of the layouts you shared.
Mm-hmm.
In the center here.
Most of the basis of those were photographs that I took, flowers or plants.
And then back to your kit preview, we can see all of the elements. So how did you create some of these elements, like the cute little bench?
The bench was a commercial use item that I purchased, and then I applied some different styles to it to kind of make it my own. I will use commercial use items. I don't like to use a lot of them, but if there's something that I don't know how to make yet, I will use it, but always try to do something to it to make it my own. Like the window was a commercial use item, and I applied one of my own styles to it to make it more rustic, and I think I added the wood slats on the side too, if I remember right.
And you have a little birdhouse and lots of flowers. And here is your scrapbook wannabe brag book.
Yes. And I think that's my gift for everybody that comes tonight, right?
I was wondering. I was waiting for you to say it before I suggested it.
I cannot remember half of the things that I did say and do. So yes, it is. I do remember that, of course.
So everybody
that comes gets that brag book. Yes. And I sent you the link for that. So.
I have a special link coming up. It's going into the chat room, and then I'm going to put it on the screen in just a second as we talk. So tell us how long you're going to have this available then. For free, because some people won't watch this video, for a few days. And
I hadn't thought of that, and I will leave that to your judgment. Whatever you think is best.
Well,
it's fine with me.
Yeah, usually a few days at least. Some of them have left it up a week or so to allow people
That's fine.
Because people are like Bernie is sleeping on the other side of the world.
How rude.
How rude.
Yes, of course. Leave it up.
And so there's the link to go get this freebie. We thank you for that. And we're back to the beginning. So
Nancy, you're sweet.
We're going to get you back here. And now let's open it back up to some questions. In the chat room, does anybody have questions for Karen? But while you're typing your questions, Karen, move to the side and tell them about that wall behind you.
Okay, I don't know which way to go. Oh, there you go. This is, we did this room addition a couple of years ago, and we added on 400 square feet over our garage. And the kind of half wall that you see there is the division. And this is my half of the room, and my husband has the other half of the room. So this room was designed just for my crafts, my sewing, whatever I want to do here. and I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted. Of course, I do anyway, but I really wanted this to be special. So this is something that I got. It's from a company called Tatouage, and it is sort of like a decal, but it's actual real paint. So you apply it to the wall, and if you want to paint over it, it's nothing you would have to remove. You just paint over it. And then I did a little bit of extra work to it based on things that I had learned when I used to tool paint. But I have a big tree on the other side of the wall with some butterflies and a little mailbox, and it just is eternal spring in here, so it makes me very happy.
I have a good friend who that reminds me of her. She has a store here in Cape Girardeau where I live, and that reminds me of when I visited her house. She had that stuff all over her house, but she hand painted it all. It wasn't anything she purchased. And you should have seen her bathroom. Her whole entire bathroom had stone wall painted on it, and flowers and little birds up in the corners, and it was amazing, just amazing. So Karen,
I'm trying to get you to see this, but it's not working too well. Oh, there we go.
You almost got it. Keep going to your right a little. I can see it. I can see it. Oh, look at that. Let me make you a little bit bigger so everybody else can see it.
There's a little blue chair in the way there, but
it's even got a little beehive coming down from it. That is just too cute. Too cute.
So it makes me very happy. Now if I can get this attached again.
What us scrappers won't do to share. We're great. I love it. I love it. This is technology in the 21st century.
Oh my gosh, is it?
So go ahead and oh no, somebody said she was getting nauseous and seasick though.
Oh, sorry.
And dizzy.
I never watch television. I don't even know how to turn our television on. And our 7-year-old the other day, we were going to watch her for a little while. And I said, okay, but I don't know how to turn on this program she wanted to watch. She goes, oh, yes, I forgot, Grandma. Let me teach you. So I can do things with the computer, but I can't turn our television on.
It's all where we place our importance, and TV isn't that important overall. So let's take some questions. What do y'all have questions for her in the chat room? What advice do you have for someone who wants to begin designing? Asks Rainy Buck.
I think the main thing is to learn as much as you can, although realizing that you're never going to learn it. I have it all at once. Take Hummy's course. Absolutely, Nancy. I think that for me, my personality is I want to know everything about something before I begin. And I had to learn that I couldn't do that. I just had to jump in, and I learn as I go, and I still learn as I go. And also for me, when I would get discouraged and think I wasn't learning fast enough or I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, a quote that Bernie actually used in a layout really stuck to me, and I actually have it taped to my computer monitor, and it says, never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. So I think that not only do you have to have the drive to learn the skill, you have to have the passion. And it's something that I'm absolutely passionate about.
I've actually shared that quote before, either on Twitter or Facebook or someplace. I like it too. I think it applies to all digital scrapbookers, because so many of us, we talk about and tease that we're addicted to this hobby, and we think about it every day, don't we? So many of us.
Absolutely. When I first started designing, I would go to bed and have thoughts of things that I wanted to do, and I honestly couldn't sleep. And it was just that excitement about learning something new and putting it on paper. or on the screen.
Um,
Somebody's asking me if I do 12 by 12 pages to get printed, or do you use your own printer if you're making an album. Actually, when I first started scrapping, I was doing 8.5 by 11 because I was using a publishing company called My Publisher, and I thought their quality was superb. And any 12 by 12 papers that I have, or layouts I've done, I actually haven't gotten printed.
Shh, you didn't see me yawning. That's
No.
contagious, so you didn't see it.
I understand blurb prints 12 by 12 layouts, though, and I understand that they're marvelous, but I just haven't used them yet myself.
Thank you. It's Ponus or Pinus for that question. That was a good question. Brown-Eyed Susan says she has a wide format printer. I like to print at home too. Some of the others they're throwing out in the chat room are mypicktales.com and scrapbookplease.com. Any more, and persnickety, that persnickety has been brought up in this chat room before. Anybody, any more questions? I know y'all have some questions for her. If not, I'm going to come up with some.
Okay, you have a lot of questions, Rainy Bug. Go for it.
When is your next kit coming out? It just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it was out about a week ago, but Nancy's very pushy. Oh, good question.
Boxer D Mom says, when will you make an add-on for the Outside My Window kit?
Aw, thank you, Dawn. Nancy, you know I was just kidding about you being pushy, right? Nancy really wants me to make an add-on for the Outside My Window kit, and I have her list of things that she wants in it, and I actually just saw it today, Nancy. So I actually am thinking about one little kind of mini kit for Christmas, and then we'll see. I'm not sure exactly.
Rainy Bug says she finds herself getting lost on where to start. Where would you recommend getting supplies to make kits? See you or design yourself?
Oh gosh, there are so many stores out there. We all know all the stores that are out there that bombard us with their newsletters and blogs and everything else, and we love that because then we can see what they have. If you don't have the knowledge to make your own item, then go to Hummies and take a lesson, and I'm sure you'll find out. But if you want to do it faster, you can always buy CU items and try to make them your own.
Dare to be
Does
me.
that answer your question?
Dare to be me mentions Scrap and Comp at blogspot.com. She has a lot of CU items. I actually got to meet her in person in St. Louis couple years ago, and she has a nominal charge for her license fee. A lifetime license fee for $20 is what they say.
Yes, that's an amazing deal.
Yeah. So yeah, you a lot of people criticize, and Karen touched on this when she was talking about her own kit. So she doesn't like to use CU items a whole lot, and she takes great effort to use her own styles and things to make them her own. A lot of people I've read complain, they'll be, somebody will make this awesome CU, and when we talk about CU, that's for those that don't know, that's commercial use. You're allowed to use them in making your kits, and there'll be some awesome CU item out there, and next thing you know, every new kit advertisement you get in your email box will have that, in it. So you have to be careful. You can use them, but try not to overuse them. Or
I agree.
yeah, really change them to make your own, or maybe use CU brushes or CU styles. Try to pick up those type of things. CU overlays, textures for your papers. But try to make the rest of your stuff, from scratch. We don't need to see that same unique bird doodle that somebody drew or something in a zillion different kits. So
I agree.
yeah.
That's the one thing that I think about when I'm designing is there's so many designers out there and there's so many people that are so great.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to myself is, how can I make this different and why would somebody want it? Why would somebody want this from me versus another kit that they see out there? And that's foremost in my mind all the time.
Yeah, we're talking a lot about kit designing here. So, do you scrap much with your own kits and things? Go ahead and talk about it. I know it's a touchy subject.
Oh, it's not touchy at all. Oh, Maza's laughing at me. I haven't scrapped a page since I started designing.
Oh no!
I haven't. Nancy there, she's asking me if I scrap. You know I don't scrap.
I think we should all email you once a day and bug you and flood you with emails till you scrap one page. Everybody needs to.
That'd probably be helpful. I actually don't have the time. I do work 4 days a week. I do design. I mean, honestly, I get up at 5 in the morning. I'm here till I go to work at 8. I get home at 5, and I'm usually here till I go to bed at 9 or 10. And I'm here a lot on the weekends as well. I don't have the time, and besides that, to be perfectly frank, I don't think I'm a good scrapper. So I give my kids to my creative team, and they come back, and I am like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made that out of something that I did, and I get so much joy out of that. And I send them emails and say, oh, this is awesome, and I think they probably think I'm going overboard, but I'm really not, because I couldn't do it, and I think it's amazing what they do. And also, Bernie said she'd scrap my vacation for me, so that's great.
You designed for them, and they'll even scrap your pages for you.
What a deal.
Are there any more questions? Throw out some questions, and while you're throwing some out, I'm going to ask you, how long does it take you to make a kit?
I think I'm probably slow. But when I do a kit, I also do styles, word art, and usually cluster frames, which actually Moz usually does for me. And that takes me about 2 weeks. And that's working nonstop on it.
Yeah.
I know some people can put them out really fast, but I'm just not that fast.
Well, if you're taking the time to really make your items unique and not use a lot of CU items and just fill them with paper and things, and all your little, like your snow people and all those little unique things that you make that kind of make up your style. You have a unique style. It's kind of a country classic, a lot like those little wooden things that you describe, those toll things that you can buy at crafts fairs. And but if you really take the time to be unique like that, then it does take time. I mean, I can see. And a lot of people think they can make a lot of money at this, and they don't realize how long and how much time it takes to...
Oh, no, I figured it out the other day, and you don't even want to know.
Yeah, I think some designers, if they make $1 an hour or 50 cents an hour...
Honestly, that's about what I was thinking. I was telling my husband, you know what? I think I make about $1 an hour, and that's before taxes. So that's what I was talking about, the passion. You have to have the passion for it. It's not just about the money. If it was just about the money, I don't know that a lot of people would be doing it, but you have to love it. That's right, you have to love it.
I tell people the same thing. It's incredible the amount of hours I put into my website and the teaching there. I mean, this weekend I literally sat right here for 12 hours on Saturday and another 9 on Sunday. And If I make a quarter an hour, that's got to be amazing for the time I put into it.
I know, I need those hours too. Luckily, I have a husband that likes to watch Sunday football, so I'm good with that. He's good with me being busy in the afternoon.
Designing is not something there's might be a few out there that might make real good money, but I could charge a lot more for my website, and I don't, though, because, like Karen said, you have to like what you're doing, and you do this because you love doing it, and you love the interaction with the people. You love helping other people to make memories. You're a part of those memories that are going to be in their pages forever.
And I just want to piggyback on that. I see that Brana Susan said that she can scrap a page that costs $10, but it's a lasting memory and so worth it. And I love that statement, because one of the things that I love is that when I see somebody that has created a design that is going to be a part of their family memory, or a layout that is part of their family memory from something that I've done, there's nothing better than that.
Mm-hmm. But digital scrapbooking doesn't cost $10 a page. I hope you're not spending that on digital scrapbooking pages. Please, no. Somebody asked and I missed it. They were asking you what program you used.
I use CS5 Extended, and I use Art Rage mostly for my glitters. I do have Illustrator, and I'm not proficient at it, so one of these days I'll start using that a little bit more. I also have a Wacom tablet that I'm hopeless at, but one of these days I'll get better.
I'm trying to read to see if the questions. How do you save and store your files and tag them?
I use ACDC to tag my files and to view them. When I started doing my organization and how I wanted to be able to find things quickly, I can't even tell you how many programs I tried. And I found ACDC to be the easiest and the fastest. And so I use that. She uses it as well. And I'm sorry, it was a two-part question.
How do you save and store your files? I think she was talking up here about individually saving everything as a ping and then tagging. Yeah, just basic about saving and storing files. How do you back them up?
I have everything on. I have 2 hard drives in my computer, and I have all my Digi stuff on one of the hard drives, one of the internal hard drives, which I back up to an external hard drive, and I also have an online.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I was looking for questions, and I read Nancy's comment. She says, "Hey, did you know that Hummy has found out how to add 6 hours to a day, and she won't tell us how?" Oh, Nancy, if I only knew, I would do it myself. I really need another 6 hours a day. I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at you.
12.
But we would get 6 or 12 more hours a day, and then what would we do with it? We would still
Our
not.
to-do list would be 18 hours instead of 12.
That's right. Yeah. That is exactly right. That just made me crack up.
Did I answer her question about storage?
I don't know. I was laughing at Nancy, so I didn't hear you. I apologize. Oh, I think you probably did.
Okay. I'm reading as you're laughing. Yes.
Oh, Nancy says, "Okay, I'll shut up."
Oh, you don't have to shut up.
Yeah, don't shut up. We knew she didn't mean that. She's being silly. Ponies. I don't know how to say it. Panais. There's so many ways. Bought an external hard drive for kits, but she's going to check out ACDC for organization. Thanks to you.
With ACDC, one of the good things about ACDC and putting your digital kits on an external hard drive is that you can tag everything and take that external hard drive and plug it in anywhere, and you've got everything with you. And I used to do it that way, but I found that I don't like designing when I'm not at my super big screen, and my online backup doesn't back up external hard drives, so that's why I went to 2 internals and moved everything over to the internal. And I back up the internal to an external, so if I really want to take it, I can, but it's backed up online as well.
So you talk about, well, I had a couple questions I was thinking. Are you a Mac user or a PC user?
PC, although everybody that I know is trying to get me to go to Mac, but it just, the thought of being down and not knowing how to use it proficiently scares me, although I know you can run Parallels on it and have both operating systems. So next time I buy a computer, I'll definitely look at it.
And you talk about you work 4 days a week, so what kind of profession is that? Are you looking at the screen all day, or do you have another type of job?
No, I'm an office manager for a periodontist who is a specialist in bone and gum disease. So I am in the office. I'm the only person that handles paper. If it has to do with paper, I handle it. You don't want me in your mouth. But I'm at the computer and at the desk all day long.
And then you come home and you're at a desk all day long. That's kind of like me.
Yes.
Some people say they could never do that. And I don't know. That's why I have a gym membership I try to use.
You know what? I have 2 gym memberships. And before I started designing, I faithfully was at the gym at 5:30 every morning, 5 days a week.
Anymore.
And since I started designing, I find that I'm not as compulsive about going there anymore.
The things that
I need to get back.
The things that digital scrapbooking doesn't do to us. Rainy
Well,
Bud.
my excuse.
Go ahead.
My excuse is half of my creative team is on the other side of the world, so
Oh.
I have to talk to them at 5 in the morning.
Good excuse. Somebody wants to know if you're going to do a military-based kit anytime soon.
You know, that just came up actually not too long ago, and 2 gals that are in the store that I'm in came up with 2. The question came up right before I left on vacation about a month ago, and when I came back, those 2 girls had 2 kits in the store already. I'm like, dang, you're fast. I actually showed those kits to a customer of mine who is in the military, and she gave me some ideas, so I may.
We're already 10 minutes over the hour, so I got one more question. What about your color palettes? How do you choose them?
You know, that's really a good question, because I will come up with a color palette usually from the piece, the photograph, or whatever it is that inspires the kit, but I kind of change it as I go along, because if I do a paper or do a blending mode that I think looks better, I might end up with a slightly different color palette than I started with. But basically, it's the element. Oh, I love your sunglasses. It's the element or the photograph that I start with.
It's great for California.
It is, although it's dark here now. Could use those this afternoon.
Oh, I'm a little too late.
Yes.
It's a different. Oh, these are more fashionable. Oh, where'd they go? I turned my head. Here they come back.
There you go. You are brilliant.
I just have too much fun. I love these chats. They take a lot of time, and a lot of work, but I love hanging out with you all and getting to meet you all. You're amazing. Any last questions for Karen? Because we're going to be closing now. Of course, when we close, I'm actually just stopping the video, and we will still be live, and you can still chatter with her. But just any more questions for the Karen before we finish the recording? Dawn says we need to thank Karen for being our very first designer partner. We appreciate all you've done. It's been great working with you, and you've been very generous in all that you've offered in your partnership.
It's been my pleasure, really. Thank you for having me.
I don't see any more questions, but they're all saying thank you for being with us. And so I want to thank you for being with us, and we'll see you around the various forums that you're in. And
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and want to say bye. I want to stop the
Bye.
record.
Thank you, everyone.